It's known as the silent killer, as many people live with hypertension or high blood pressure without knowing it. Last Wednesday was World Hypertension Day. We check in with Zehrs Market's registered dietitian Leah Mete to learn more about high blood pressure, and it's really prevalent for a lot of Canadians, Leah.
Yes, Mike, I'm glad that you actually brought attention to that. It's suspected that about 1 in 4 Canadians actually have hypertension. And out of that amount of people, 1 in 5 of those people don't actually know that they have it. So it is something definitely to think about and even to maybe consider doing some routine checkups with your doctor or at the pharmacy, because you definitely want to be aware if it's something you're struggling with.
I'm one of those people that if I'm waiting for a prescription and they've got one of those machines, I'm always checking my blood pressure.
Good.
120 over 80 is what I'm always aiming for. Anything above that starts heading towards that high blood pressure danger zone.
Yes, absolutely. No, I'm glad that you have definitely been on top of it. If you are kind of getting towards that danger zone too, and I mean, you are at the pharmacy, I would definitely talk to your pharmacist about that because they maybe can make some suggestions right away. But when we're thinking about things from a nutrition lens as well, there's lots of things we can do to even prevent it. So you don't even have to worry about it when you get to the pharmacy and do your checkup.
What are some of the things that you recommend? I know it's a lot to deal with lifestyle, right? So even getting out, going for walks, you don't have to be lifting weights or going for runs. Walks are good steady walk. Cutting down on alcohol, maybe trying to quit smoking, those are tips as well.
I would definitely agree with that. I would say my number one tip from a nutrition standpoint is you definitely want to be a little bit more mindful of your salt and sodium intake. So one of the easiest way for Canadians to do this is switch towards a more whole foods diet. So diets that are high in fruits and vegetables, whole grains, things like that, they are just naturally low in sodium. But as a dietitian, I also know that's not always the most realistic recommendation to give. People eat packaged foods. I do as well. So how do we actually look at sodium on a label and kind of think about how can I reduce it? So the number one thing you want to do is you want to look for sodium on the label. It will just be right on it. And then you want to go to the far right and look at the percentage. And you want to use the 5-15% rule. So if it's 5% or under, it's going to be low sodium. And if it's 15% or over, it's going to be a high sodium product. So that's kind of what you're looking for when you are grocery shopping. I am glad though that you brought up the lifestyle factors, particularly walking, because a lot of clients I talk to, they usually tell me that walking is not really considered exercise to them, but I completely disagree. So your heart is a muscle, and to make a muscle stronger, you need to work it. So when we're thinking about cardiovascular activity, walking is a great way to increase that heart rate, make your heart stronger, decrease hypertension. So I really like that. Even like a 15-10 minute even walk after dinner a few times a week, that can be really beneficial as well. So lifestyle and nutrition definitely play a role here.
Leah, we've talked before and I mentioned herbal supplements. Are there
Yeah.
herbal supplements that can help with high blood pressure?
So I would probably be careful when it comes to supplements and even other kinds of heart conditions as well. A lot of supplements that you can get on the shelf actually interact with heart medications. So you want to be very, very careful that way. I would say if you really want to make sure, either talk to a dietitian or talk to your pharmacist. I can take bookings through bookadietitian.ca, so that can be a focus of a session that I have with a client. But overall, I would say probably focus on diet and lifestyle a little bit more. I know I mentioned something that we can try to reduce in our diet a little bit, but even if we're thinking about nutrients to increase, I'm thinking about things like omega-3s, antioxidants, and soluble fiber. So omega-3s are going to be that healthy fat that's very anti-inflammatory and can help reduce hypertension and other heart disease risks. You're getting that from things like seafood, fatty fish. You're getting it from nuts and seeds, avocados. Antioxidants are another really good one to focus on because they're also anti-inflammatory. I would say my easiest tip for antioxidants is really lean into that Canada's Food Guide. So you actually want to try to make it your meal be about half of a plate fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables are very high in antioxidants, so they're usually the easiest way to get them in. And then when I'm thinking about soluble fiber, it actually does help impact cholesterol. It's very beneficial to lower cholesterol, which can help reduce overall heart disease. So I'm even thinking about things like sweet potato, asparagus. I know that's going to be in season kind of around now, so lean into that a little bit. Brussels sprouts are another great way to do that. Or if you are not really a vegetable lover and just going along with the supplement thing, you actually might want to consider something like Metamucil or a fiber supplement, which will also have the same type of fiber in it.
You mentioned nuts and seeds. Can my almonds be covered in chocolate?
You know what? They can be, but not all the time. So when we're thinking about hypertension specifically, like I was saying, salt is really our big culprit here. So the chocolate covered almonds, we're going to have them as a dessert. We're going to have them after a meal. But if you are eating nuts and seeds kind of in between meals or as snacks, I want people to focus on the unsalted varieties. And even if I'm thinking about the products that I work with every day with clients, President's Choice has a lot of different varieties of unsalted trail mixes and nuts and things like that to help kind of fill that without getting too much sodium in.
Lots of great advice, and we can still enjoy what we eat while we are taking care of our blood pressure. Thank you so much for filling us in today, Leah.
No problem. Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed it, Mike. And I hope everybody kind of thinks about their nutrition a little bit when it comes to hypertension.